Welcome, everybody, to the Superhumanistic podcast where we talk about all things health and wellness related. As you can see, it is only me today. So I'm Jessica. We have this podcast usually with my husband, David, but he is not going to be here today on this episode. This episode, we actually are going to be talking all women related topic. So any women out there who listen to our podcast, tell your friends, let them know to hit subscribe and follow us so that they can learn some of these women cycle syncing tips for workouts and to make them healthy as well. Last week we talked about Japanese wellness strategies. So if you are interested in learning various strategies that they are using in Japan to help with de-stress and just to make them healthy overall in a more holistic way, you can watch last week's episode. We go into great detail about those things and how Japan is really leading in that area. This week, we're going to talk all women topic of cycle syncing our workouts. So this is kind of a newer topic in the field. There's really not as much research out there at this time, but it's always been kind of like a aha moment for me that we should be cycle syncing our workouts. I mean, I don't know about you ladies, but I can definitely notice that throughout my cycle, my energy levels can either rise or fall. And it kind of makes sense that I would change up my workout routine depending on where I'm at in my cycle. So again, our body feels different at various points in our monthly cycle. So at the beginning of the cycle, I tend to be more sleepy, so less energized. I'm not going to push myself as hard. I also could be experiencing some of those cramps along with my menstrual cycle starting. So that's kind of like the beginning of your cycle, and when they say to do less rigorous activities if you're cycle syncing your workouts. Then that second half of our cycle is a half that we are more energetic naturally. Our hormones are higher in the body, or starting to actually even out in our bodies, so then we aren't having as much energy going into the menstrual cycle in this phase. We're wanting to then match our workout to what our energy level is, so think high intensity working out. We want to make sure that we're doing running. You could do Pilates, you could do weightlifting. So think of those things, those goals that you've always wanted to hit, and this is that time in your cycle that you're wanting to push yourself even more in the gym to hit those marks. So that is your luteal phase of your cycle. So again, our body is preparing for potential pregnancy. So we're ovulating at this time. So think of this as the time that you're wanting to push yourself even more. So what would an actual workout routine be as we go through our cycle? So I'm going to break that down for you now. First, it would be that menstruation time. And this is, again, still new. So some people do it by the first half of my cycle versus the second half of my cycle. First half, I'm going to take it easy. I'm not going to work out as hard. And I'm just expecting me to at least go to the gym. At least I showed up for myself these days, because some days I probably can't even get out of bed because my energy is so low and I'm cramping. So that's why we're taking it light in the gym. The second half, the luteal phase, then we're going to push ourselves even more, lift more weights, try to reach those goals that we have been setting, so that we're meeting with what our energy is in our bodies. So those are your two phases. Some people take it into 4 different phases throughout your menstrual cycle, and this is how they break it down for when you're cycle syncing your workouts. Starting with menstruation again. So this would be like day 1 through 5 of what your cycle is. You're gonna focus on doing light workouts like walking, stretching, mobility, and active recovery. So taking it really easy day 1 through 5. At this point, our hormones are low, so we have low hormone levels, and we also have fatigue and decreased energy. So we're wanting to take it light. Again, hey, I showed up for myself, giving myself a pat on the back for just making it to the gym at this point in our cycles. The second would be that follicular phase. So day 5 through 14 of our cycle. And we're gonna aim to do moderate to high intensity workouts in the gym. So think running, dance cardio, weightlifting, maybe that goal I set of my pull-ups. This is where I'm gonna be pushing myself to do maybe just 2 more pull-ups that day. So really focusing in on those goals that you set for health and for the gym. Again, our bodies are feeling more naturally energetic during this phase. So that's why we really want to push ourselves. The next would be the ovulating phase. And this is around day 14 of our cycles. Think again to really high energy or strenuous workouts. So running, dance, cardio, weightlifting, all of those goals that we're setting that day 14, still pushing ourselves at that high level. We have improved mood at this time as ladies, and our energy naturally is increased because our hormone levels are higher. So challenge yourself mid-cycle. Still mid-cycle, and then leading into the end is called the luteal phase. So we're gonna start to slow down a bit, getting ready for that day 1 through 5 of the new cycle beginning. So take a little bit gentler in the gym. You could do Pilates, yoga, walking, a steady pace of cardio. You could still do weightlifting, but not as heavy of weights and not pushing ourselves as hard during that luteal phase, which is day 14 again through 28. This is where our estrogen levels also are starting to decline, and our progesterone levels are increasing for the potential pregnancy. Obviously, our body's releasing the eggs. It's every time we go through a cycle is preparing for pregnancy. So our progesterone levels will be higher, estrogen lower, making us more fatigued. We'll start to see that we're more tired around this time as well. So in the gym, we want to make sure that we are taking it back a notch from that high intensity workout so that we don't hurt ourselves and can continue to keep up with our day-to-day gym routines. So that really is what cycle syncing is. Some of the benefits that we can experience with cycle syncing our workouts to our menstrual cycles would be less acne. So if you are prone to acne, you're gonna see that your skin gets clearer when we focus on really planning on our workouts around our menstrual cycle. You also will have reduced inflammation. You'll see more balancing in our hormones as we cycle sync. And then our workouts will have an even more greater impact because we're really focused on what our bodies are needing throughout each day of that menstrual cycle. And when we focus in on what our body is telling us it needs, that's where we're gonna see the greatest results. We're gonna feel happier, our moods will increase as well when really focusing and tuning into what our bodies are telling us. So that is really all that I have for you today. Make sure that you hit subscribe, follow us, tell friends about us if you think they would be interested in our show and can get something out of it that would benefit them in their everyday health and wellness journeys that we are all on in life. I hope that you all have a great day and are one step closer to being super humanistic. We'll talk to you next time with my husband. All right, bye.